Good evening, everybody. How are you doing?
Hey, brother, how's everything going?
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for joining, Tony.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Let me just gonna grab Tavonia. So I see some new names here. Probably people who are interested in the Ayo Village project. That's exciting. Just gonna give it a couple minutes. So Tavana's signing in now. I'm learning about Ayo Village along with you guys. Um, she's going to be talking about the opportunity that's available. Once you hear what the offering is, my comment will make sense, but Patricia and I are already in for an acre of land at least, and possibly looking for more. But we're going to at least have an acre down there in this community. And, you know, we're going to go build something incredible.
I'll echo Mr. Okolo. This is Kimberly, and I have a half an acre. My sister has a half an acre in that village as well. So we haven't come up with exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do something with it.
Exciting. Welcome, Tavana. I see that you're here. How are you doing this evening? You're on mute if you're there.
Peace. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Peace. This is Zainala.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Okolo. How's everything?
Fantastic.
Great.
Ivana, are you there? You're on mute. If
I know I'm here. Hold on.
Oh, you are. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. So what I see as exciting is multiple communities are continuing to be merged together and uniting. So I just had a Circle Financial meeting, and now people from that meeting are on this meeting. And then this community is, of course, built out of the Guap community. And there's lots of organizations and people and groups that are in the process of building, whether it's a city or a town or something, or something similar to Black Wall Street. But we're looking to be involved in their projects, and then of course to spearhead our project forward as well. Looks like Tavana's just getting herself situated. If you guys had any idea how much stuff goes on in the background with Guapcoin, you'd be, I think you would be amazed.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I was looking for my and Zoom. But welcome to, this presentation, it's this discussion about IO. We talked about IO, I think it was like last week, right? And it's crazy how things will evolve super quick. But I think that's a feature of my life because I'm a person that's about overcoming obstacles. And there's always obstacles to overcome. There's always, but when you do so, you're oftentimes introduced to something even better than what you thought you had or what you could, what you could muster up. And that happens to be the situation right now and how we've decided to expand and go forward. The beginning of IO, I'm sorry, I still can't find my glasses, so I guess I'm just gonna have to be blind for a minute. The beginning of IO, I made an offer to some early supporters, investors, to get involved with being able to purchase residential. Originally, the first land that I had been going after was only 175 acres or 185 acres. That has since expanded to 1,000 acres. And doing a lot of soul searching. I've been doing a lot of soul searching in terms of how to pull this off. What do people do to pull these things off? Because the true vision of what I want to do with IO, I kind of envision to be in the millions, of course, but I don't embark on anything until I see a clear way of creating a sustainable economy, something that's going to fund the continuation. Like, where are we going to get the money to keep this thing going or to expand it? I don't want to have to. It's great that if we can get investors, but I don't want to have to count on investors. All I know is what works, what I found in different circles and what we're doing. What works is to build a long-term plan, and be good that something to be a long-term plan. I think that in the community, we a little bit in gratification, And
You're breaking up a little bit, Tavana.
sorry, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. My phone connected to my car speaker. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I had concerns. And I think that they're concerns that I pass on to people because I want to be 100% secure and know at least that we have some steps that we can take to get to different levels. Like it's not going to all happen at one level, but how do we achieve this milestone? And this is coming from the tech world. You know, you look at everything as a milestone. Okay, we want to achieve this milestone. We want to be able to achieve this milestone, et cetera, et cetera. And I finally made it to the point where that all came together. There was definitely other people involved, other plans involved, but it all came together. So I was like, you know what? I'm ready to take this like prime time now. You know, I'm really ready to open this up to more people, not just the 20 people that I started out with. So that's what leads me here today. That 20 people now may turn to 200 people. And it may not be 200 people, it may be less because there may be some people that decide that they want to get a portion of, can you hear me? Because now it's connected to my CarPlay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, I had to plug in my phone and now connected somewhere else. But it may not be 200 people. It may wind up being 50 people or 100 people, but definitely more than 20 people. And I wanted to open it up and open up the opportunity in that way. So let me open up the document that I have and I'll kind of go from the document. I sent out a graphic today. I just put it out on my Instagram, and it just has some notes on where we're taking this. So Ayo Village is a decentralized eco-smart village. So of course we want to build everything sustainable, everything economic, everything with a little bit of technology. You know what I mean? So it's not all just rough rural farmland. It is you know, in a smart ecosystem. So it's not necessarily a city, but it's a village. And the reason why I call it a village is because we rely on, you know, the earth. We rely on farming and et cetera, and certain things to contribute to that. So what we're planning is 100 acres of residential living that's divided into half-acre plots. That is also going to consist of building homes using hempcrete. If any of you are familiar with hempcrete, it is a building basis that is based off of hemp, of course, almost totally indestructible, fireproof, termite proof, lighter than concrete, and very, very, very good for the environment, right? And I'm leading to something with that as well, right? So we're also building a blockchain-based DAO. If you're not familiar with a DAO, this is essentially our governance. This is a governance that will allow us to have transparency in terms of rules. You know, kind of think of it as someone is waiting to get in. Let me let them in. Think of it as like a high tech, what do you call homeowners association, right? But we as residents participate in a direction of where this is going. We get to vote, we get to see proposed ideas, we get to be a part of the process, right? Another feature is going to be a village run indoor outdoor marketplace. So we want to build a marketplace in which the residents can sell things, can participate, and you know, that's our little small business aspect to it, of course. And of course, we're accepting Guapcoin in that marketplace. 25 acres of campgrounds. We talked about that before, that a portion of it is going to have campgrounds. Farm educational building. So I have a collective, the Ayo collective, that includes people that don't, you know, other people that don't just live on site, but they will be learning and taking part of the education program that we're crafting, so that they can take this and build this somewhere else, so that they can take and build something like Ayo Village in another state. Hold on one second. I think there's someone else coming in. Okolo,
I'll take care of those, Tavonia. Just go ahead.
Okay. So we also have a 2-year building plan. That's with the hempcrete. So this is not, again, the building part of it is not going to be something that's going to be instantaneous. We have a plan on how we can raise money and how we can reduce the costs. And hempcrete is a building material that in and of itself will, you know, provide us with a reduced cost. But we have a plan where we can reduce the overall building costs individually. So will you have to pay for building a house, or can you also help out with building your house? Sure. Are there going to be fees associated with building a house? Yes, but we'll do our best to make sure that either we can fundraise, finance, or make it affordable. And we have ideas for doing that, right? We also will have a solar farm. And if you're not familiar with what a solar farm is this is basically a whole entire setup that will produce a tremendous amount of kilowatt energy to power homes and power, right? So that is also going to be located on the land. 100 acres, and I say 100 acres plus of agriculture, and 100 acres of hemp and an on-site processor. So one of my partners is currently working on purchasing a processor. And this particular processor, there are only like 2 in the United States. They're everywhere else, but they're not in the United States. And this processor is a processor that's capable of processing hemp material so that hempcrete can be made, right? So the beautiful thing about getting the processor is that other people will be coming to us to process their materials, and the actual part of hemp that you make hempcrete with is literally almost like the throwaway part. It's the part that is going to be the cheapest, because this is not the part that people use. Like, you know, this is industrial hemp, right? So having a processor that caters to the outside world, which there aren't many people who have this processor, and being able to get access to the raw materials is going to make the cost of us building housing as low as possible, because we'll literally be the production source, right? And then also we want to build an outdoor entertainment complex. And when I say entertainment complex, I'm literally talking like stage, like, you know, outdoor movie theater, that kind of thing. So this is what we have in the first part of the plan. So this is like literally like a 2-year plan, right? Now there's a lot of people that want to get involved. They want to become a part of this. So this is the conversation that we're having right now. How can you get involved? How can you become a part of it? And really what we're proposing is probably the most affordable way that you can become part of this, and a part of something, and a part of the ownership, and then also acquiring amount of land for you. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm literally trying to, since the pandemic, everything early, including when you're trying.
Now you are breaking up a little bit. It's a life of multitasking. It's something I'm well aware of.
I just want to make sure because
You were cutting out for a second. Try to speak again. We can't hear you.
hello.
Yeah, there you are. We can hear you now.
I think you're on mute, Okolo.
Oh, you can't hear either one of us. I can hear you barely.
I can hear you now. I
Okay,
can hear you now.
go ahead.
Did you hear my question?
Oh, no, repeat. You were before that, everything was broken up.
Everything I said broke up.
Yes. So start whatever the last thought was over again.
And me breaking up.
You're breaking up. Are we both breaking up?
No, just Tavonia.
No. Okay, am I back? Did y'all lose me?
Now you're
Yes.
back. Now you're back. Go
Okay,
ahead.
where did I end off at?
How do we become part of the Ayo Village?
Oh, okay. So you didn't
And
lose
the
me, 'cause
card
I
ping.
actually just got to that.
Right when the card
Um,
pinged.
Okay. So becoming a part of Ayo Village at this point is we're offering entry at the fee of $3,000, which will include a half an acre plot. But that's not it. That's one of the things. It's only two things. The other thing is we are doing a background check because we're talking about this is going to be where people are going to be living and working. And the only thing that we're looking for in the background check is we're looking for violent crimes and sexual crimes and sexual predators, etc. So that would be kind of like a total disqualification for that. But other than that, that's what we're looking at in terms of accepting an application, because it will be an application, and the application is easy. We just want to make sure that people are going to be safe as a basis, and that's that portion of it. But the fee is going to be $3,000.
Is there a limit to how many half-acre plots somebody can buy?
No, there is not, but this is a residential area. You know what I mean? So think of it like if you're thinking that I want to buy 10-acre plots because I want to do XYZ, please bear in mind that this is residential.
Understood. And the total number of slots that you're gonna sell is 200?
Yes, the total number of slots is 200.
Okay. Got it.
So this is going to be something that's moving pretty fast. We really already have a great turnout response already. Most of those people aren't even here. So I know that this is going to go pretty fast because when we did the small one, that went like literally in 24 hours. So, you know, I'm putting together a package that's going to kind of outline things a little bit more in detail, and that package will be released this weekend. So just a little bit more in detail. Now, how we're planning on distributing the ownership proposal is going to be using the blockchain, of course, and using NFTs. And I mentioned that before with the other one. So that's what we'll be doing in terms of the ownership. Now, is it a contract that is totally bonded? You know what I mean? Like, is there any type of disqualification or something to get you out of there? And these are certain legal stuff that we have to build out more intensively. But remember, this is a DAO. So everything that happens through a vote. You know what I mean? So if there becomes an instance where someone becomes problematic, then a vote will happen and they'll be bought out. You know what I mean? Like literally, like, here's your money, here's your stake, We'll try to do everything we can to do that, but it would have to be somebody who, we have to allow for somebody, you know, that there may be someone who might be really problematic and they're not, you know, functioning well within the community. And that's like anywhere, like even in a subdivision or whatever the case may be, there's rules. And I've been kind of talking about this for a week. There are definitely going to be rules, and the rules that we're thinking are stuff that keep other people safe and value other people's property. You know what I mean? And value the property as a whole. This is something that we really, really, really want to keep to. And this is not about what your religion is and what you do or whatever the case may be, what your job is, or, you know, your career, your business, as long as it's legal. That's not a factor. You know what I mean? This is about being able to come together, because think about it. When you move in a subdivision, you don't know all of this stuff about all these other people neither. You know what I mean? You move in a subdivision, but there's a set of rules and guidelines that you follow and you abide by, and you know, you're able to function. And that's how we're hoping that this is going to go forward. Akolo, if you want to take some questions, you can.
Absolutely. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have questions. In which county is this?
The property is located, right, that's like one of the most important things. The property is located in Wilkinson County and near Toomsboro. So, you know, we've been talking a lot about Toomsboro. It's not too far from where Freedom Georgia Project is being established, where other land is being purchased for, you know, the purpose of incorporating into a town, etc. This particular property has waterfront, has a lake, and it has a variety of different things that are like very desirable for the, you know, for me.
And what's the zoning real quickly? When you say it can be 100 acres of residential, obviously that's already zoned, or that's something we'll have to apply to be zoned?
Well, the property itself is already zoned for farmland, is zoned for recreational property, is zoned for a variety of different things. You're gonna have to go in and put the proper license in to build houses. That's how any kind of raw property is. But because it is zoned to be farmland, there's, you know, they'll tell you like right off the bat, like, oh, you want to put a subdivision up here, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. These are all the standard things.
But there's nothing like wetlands that's going to prevent building.
There is wetlands, but
No, but we're not.
We're not building on the wetlands.
That's my point.
Right.
Okay.
Right. There's literally like 15 miles of road within the properties. That's how big it is.
Got it. Tony, you had your hand raised. Please go ahead.
Hey, I don't like being talked to a picture, being more personable face to face. My name is Tony Brown. I'm actually an engineer by trade. I'm in Fort Bragg. I'm 3rd Special Forces Group. And a couple of things I wanted to ask, you know, do y'all have actually a 20-year plan? Because I actually build communities out here and I build communities overseas. What about the sewer plans and the sewer systems, things like that? Because that's where the expense is going to come in at. And
right.
With wetlands, is you can build around it, but at the end of the day, it will still flood if you don't have a proper sewer system out there, or
right.
Things of that nature.
Right.
Building this over, which is 1,000 acres, because I got about 50 out here, and I actually building schools and stuff that I'm doing. Are you going to have hospitals, schools, and things of that nature part of this? So it's going to be a city, and do the state regulations prevent that, or will they be a part of it? You know, like also.
Well, nowadays, state regulations they don't ban private schools, you know what I mean? So if we decide that we want to build a private school, I would love to build a private school. I'm just not including it in the initial plans until we have someone that steps in, you know what I mean? And says that, hey, we can do this. And
if you're saying it's 1,000 acres, then if it's no school, then that's an hour drive to the nearest school, I guess. with,
Right. But nowadays a lot of people are doing, homeschool, or they're doing remote, remote. You got K-12 here in Georgia
yeah.
and stuff like that.
So
But
what
I would
about
love, like I said, I would love to build a school. We're definitely
what about autism?
building a farm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, we're definitely building a farm education program that's
Mhm.
gonna teach hemp, et cetera. So we definitely have that planned out, and we want to build that. But again, we would love to build a school. So if somebody wants to come in and propose that and work with us on that, that's what we'll be
Because
open to doing.
when you say community, I think of the little things that people really don't think about. I understand, the housing situation and the farm and the solar farm, but
Right.
people, things like that, getting people to hospital. What about autism? Some people got artistic kids and things of that nature. So this is the stuff I dive into, even when I'm building a community out here in Fayetteville.
Okay, well, would definitely love to, have you a part of the planning. You know what I mean? I mean, we could have that conversation. That's where this starts at, to get, various people and involved in their level of expertise. You know what I mean? We have
Mhm.
people involved already who are on the farming side, but no, we don't have people. I mean, we have some people who are involved in planning in terms of the architecture and building with certain buildings, but we gonna need more planners. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, this is the beginning of that. And
You're breaking up. But Tony, the one thing that we do within the Guap community is whenever somebody comes up with a suggestion, we assign it to them. So we thank you for your volunteering of being involved with
me
the
losing
planning
out.
committee.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
That was a good one.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
just how
thinking
we
of
work
what-
here. It's how we
Yeah, I'm
work
trying
here.
to figure out what stage you're at, in the beginning, because we spoke before, last night, a couple of days we met, and I showed you a lot of things that I have going on. So, it's just a lot of things. I just don't want to, I know in the South, people don't understand it, but it's something called the good old boy system. And I don't want to keep bumping into that. And, next, magical laws just pop up and stop and heat out, things that's going on, so it's the reality of the situation too. I want to make sure I understand before, actually put finance, because the money is not the issue for me. It's more of the planning part. I'll put any type of money towards a good plan. But, as for now, I just want to know more about it. And hopefully in the way I'm hearing it, I think it's just saying that when's the time limit to put in this $3,000 or 30 grand, or if I put 30 grand right now and I get 10 acres, can I build a house and it'll eliminate? You see how the building plans will be totally different now? If I buy the 10 acres and I build my house on those 10 acres, and if you're selling half plots, will it be all plots connected? Will it be half plots all over the place? So there's certain things that, I would like to know as well, when putting money towards it, because I'm not.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
That's actually why I said that there's a detailed document that we're working on that
Okay.
we'll put out. And this is just like a preliminary thing. Yes, the half acres are going to be connected. They're all going to be in one area of the property, just like a subdivision. But however, you can go into subdivisions and you can find that someone has a property that's bigger than the other ones in the subdivision. That happens in certain subdivisions. You know what I mean? But they are gonna be connected, because I think that if we go with a builder or building company or whatever, that's just gonna be easier with them than if it was, kind of all over the place.
And how long it would take to build this? Because hempcrete, I know for a fact that that don't come easy. That's it's not like concrete where you could just make and that's it. It's a biocomposite.
Well, yeah, and you can also look at it reinforcing structures. You know what I mean? Because we looked at a couple of things. I've always kind of been into the shipping container homes, and there's actually a company. There's actually a company, a Black-owned company that does that kind of building. They build shipping container homes. And I've already talked with them. But I like the hempcrete because it's going to put us in a position where we'll qualify for funding, for government grants, for et cetera, because, you know, Biden right now is pushing for this 2025 carbon free, you know, lowering the carbon footprint. And there's a lot of money being dumped into that industry. You know what I mean? So being able to take advantage of that and build more affordable housing, and then also get rebates, also get funding, that's attractive to me.
Right. So you were saying about internet. What about the internet service out there? Are we going to build towers and stuff so we get proper service? Because, you know, in the middle of nowhere, especially in the southern country, they be like sundown states and stuff.
Well, I've been out there a lot, and they do have internet service.
Okay.
I've been on rural properties, hunting properties, et cetera. They have internet service.
All right. All right. That's good. All right. That's all the questions.
Yeah, because that's an obvious need.
Yeah,
for
because people are because internet service for one is different from internet service for 500. You know, so it's like
right,
stuff like that. So I want to make sure, you know, little things like that in the community, like the nuances. You know, you definitely want to have your white paper, or if you have your business plan, and I'll go over it. Then we can just go from there.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And kind of what the model is we're following, you know, these land out there right now are being snatched up super quick. You know what I mean? Like land is going, you know, ever since Freedom Georgia and them bought that land, all of the land up there is going super quick. You know, and they're kind of like buying land, and then once they buy the land, they're that's what they're doing, the planning in terms of what they're going to do with it. I already had the vision of what we're going to do with it. Yes, it's going to be heavily based around the hemp industry, because that's what's going to bring us the long-term sustainable income to keep going forward and keep expanding. And then also integrating you know, the current technology that we have, you know, blockchain, et cetera, and use that to fund the expansion of the land as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of creative financing. I'm going to be real with you, because that's what I've done that's what I've done since 2016. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the model that's going to help other people get involved who may not necessarily, you know, be able to afford 30,000 or 50,000 or whatever, but maybe they can afford 3,000, 6,000 to start and build forward.
Hey, thank you very much, Tony. Welcome aboard. Somebody asked, I think you already answered this, but are manufactured / mobile homes, will they be permitted?
I'm not averted to manufactured homes. However, I think that getting us into sustainable homes and et cetera is more than just having a home. It's about having a home that pays for itself. You know what I mean? So, you know, definitely I don't think what do you call it? The jury is out on that, you know, totally. But again, we're building a DAO. We're going to vote on a lot of things, you know, vote on these issues and see, you know, how we might be able to make a happy medium. You know, I mean, we're going to have campgrounds. We're going to create, you know, make sure that we have, you know, RV hookups and stuff like that. So during the process of building, you know, even still people have access to coming up there and to participate and helping out as well.
Got it. One other question somebody
So
asked was,
that is literally the first thing that's getting built out is the campgrounds.
Got it. Another question was, are the parcels already defined? Did you hear that? Another question is, are the parcels already defined?
No, the parcels are not defined yet.
Okay. Yeah,
now, if you're talking about structurally defined or mapped out, no. some of the things that we're doing right now, can you hear me?
Yes,
One of the things that we're going to be doing, like pretty much off the bat, is we're doing soil testing, and stuff like that to make sure, the hemp, is we're going to have a good spaces to grow what we need to grow, for the, for the processing, et cetera. So we're supposed to be having the soil examined, we'll be having, the surveying done and stuff like that.
Can I ask a
fantastic.
question?
Yeah, please go ahead, Brandon.
How's everyone doing? Tavonia, how you doing? It's Brandon Davis.
Hey,
What's going on? So my question is about, as far as the soil. I did a lot of research into the hempcrete when it first hit the scene, and from my studies, what I found is that the hempcrete, if we're trying to be economical, use our resources the best, and get the most bang for our buck, we should be looking at doing pressed earth or rammed earth homes as opposed to hempcrete, to where we wouldn't necessarily need to have to grow a product. We could use the soil right underneath our feet that's already on the land. I don't know if any of you guys have looked into
well,
ram earth or press earth.
I agree that may be an option, but actually we're not going to be producing we're not going to be growing all the hemp for the hempcrete, because we're going to be a major processor. So people are going to be bringing it from other places.
Well, that goes into my second part of the question. My first question was, are you guys looking at pressed earth or rammed earth as a cheaper and just as efficient option as hempcrete building? And then also, if we're going to be growing hemp on this property, are we looking at textile production other than just processing, where we're actually making cloths and fabrics of that type of thing as a way to generate revenue?
Yes, we're absolutely looking at textile production. Another thing we're looking at is we're working on contracts, agreements with local industries like paper mills, et cetera, so that we can provide carbon credits. And we can get into the carbon credit trade in that area. Looking at pre-establishing these relationships with these stakeholders that are in the ground.
Cool. That's all I would need to know.
Thank you. Anyone else have a question? You can raise your hand, or it's quiet enough, you could just start to speak.
Hey, how everybody doing? We're late. We just got the notification, and we have a question as far as what is everything, like, because we don't know what's going on at all, but we definitely into acquiring land or community development. And so I just want to know what was going on with this specifically.
Oh, okay. Did you just sign on?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have it. Oh, okay. So
She can, she'll give a quick, she'll give a quick, hold on, she'll give a quick overview, but we also have recorded this. So you can go back and watch the beginning part of it. I will make it available on YouTube. But go ahead and give a quick overview, Tavonia.
Yeah, so quickly, we're acquiring this land to build out, over a 2 to 3 year period, to not only just build out housing, but to also build out an industry that's going to create a sustainable economy for the village. So it's going to be it's going to be a little bit more than just a village, but there will be a residential area. There will be social areas. The brother mentioned the school that likely will take place as well, but we want people to come in and do, when it comes to doing more planning, to assist with the planning on that. We're not going to take over everything. It's going to be run by a decentralized autonomous authority. So it's like a DAO. This is going to be a decentralized village. You know what I mean? So we're going to vote on various things and vote on various issues on the blockchain, similar to what we do with Guap right now. The heart of the industry is hemp, of course, because that is what's legal in Georgia. And currently, one of the largest processors here in Georgia is and I could be wrong unless that's changed, but it's a white-owned processing operation. and they're one of the larger processing operation, and they largely undervalue the crops and stuff that come to them, because they're kind of like, what do you say, the monopoly on the market. So we're looking into instituting our own processor on site, and a major processor, because the processing equipment that we're looking at is not frequent here. I understand there's only like maybe 1 or 2 in the United States. Outside the United States, in Canada, they're using it. They're using it in other countries, but they're not using it here. This particular processing equipment will allow us to process industrial hemp, to do to do more like the brother said a little while ago, textiles and etc. We also want to process to be able to create hempcrete, which is what we mentioned earlier as well. Does that mean that we're going to be growing all the hemp that's going to be processed? No, we'll likely be purchasing the byproduct hemp of other growers as well, so that we can produce these items that we need for building.
You must have muted yourself.
She was
I
done.
did.
Any other questions so
I
far?
did. I start talking and then I got to catch a breath. So, you know, so I'll put it on mute. But this is a non-denominational, you know, community effort. And we're kind of approaching it from the perspective of, you know, like a subdivision. You know, there are different people, different kinds of people that live in a subdivision, different cultures, and they're able to get along. I literally live in a huge subdivision that has a tremendous amount of community amenities. You know what I mean? And is managed in a particular way. So I don't see how we're not able to do this culturally, you know, as a cultural operation, and to be able to come together and come together on this and the idea of creating sustainable industries that, or sustainability that keeps us going. And ultimately that's what a smart city is. When you build a smart city is supposed to have structures that pay for themselves. You know what I mean? You want to build it in a way that everything is paying for itself. Everything is you know, off grid, because we talked about a solar farm, you know, and building a solar farm. Already have looked into the research of a solar farm. Now, to power the structures on the land itself, you know, a solar farm, we could build a solar farm, you know, of $500,000 that should power everything on the land. Because if you build a solar farm at $1 million, that's supposed to power over 3,000 houses. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, taking advantage of, you know, there's money out there for building sustainable communities. Not only is there money for building sustainable communities, but there's also money for people of color to close the gap that we have in being able to build sustainable communities, right? And there's even more money for that. So I think that we should be able to tap into this funding, tap into a collective, tapping into funding and tapping into industry, and tapping into non-traditional ways of raising funds, whether it's through blockchain, DeFi, or whatever, to power this operation.
Okay, so my first question would be, so with the land acquisition, are we coming together and putting money together to acquire the land, or do y'all already own the land and y'all this is just a development that y'all are coming together with building on top of it, and you know what I'm saying, you needed income to power that?
What we are intending on doing is closing on the contract on the land in 60 days. And what you are coming in doing is once we close on the land in the contract in 60 days, then we're going to work, and this is bank financing. So it's like, this is not ownership, but our goal is to buy ourselves out of that and own the land, you know what I mean, within a year. So that's what our plan is. That's what we're doing. So we're coming together and we're purchasing the land, and that's what the DAO is. The DAO is about community ownership, decentralized ownership. I mean, so we're together to do that. And the primary goal is to buy us out of any type of banking contract or whatever. But we're also going to take advantage of the funding that's already there, because right now the FSA and a variety of other organizations are now funding Black farms, They have money this. And when you go traditional finance through there, the issue is the timing that it takes. Because if you do FSA, you're talking about between maybe.
You're not totally clear right now, Tavonia. It's choppy, unless it's just me.
No, she was choppy.
I'm sorry, I cut out in my back.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about up to a year of being able to close on a deal using FSA, using the farm bill money that's available. But what they will do is when you already own the property, they'll come in and you can still get money to expand. You can get money for equipment. You can get money for all of that. So we do plan on taking advantage.
Must have muted herself. But I see put in the chat 3,000 for half an acre. Is this after the 60 days y'all acquired the land, or is this still going forward within this 60-day period with the half an acre?
Did you come back, Tavonia? I don't want to be the definitive on this, but the short answer is it would be before.
I'm sorry, I'm back. What was the question?
I was seeing that someone had put $3,000 for half an acre in the chat, and I was wondering, is that prices after the land is acquired, or is this within the 60 days?
No, this is not. We're literally doing this raise now. And to be honest, we probably have about a good 60 people that are ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's chopping up real bad on my end.
What she said was, it's beforehand. And what she said is right now we have about 60 people who've already committed. And so we've got 140 slots available. So the total is we're looking is 200 half-acre slots. So that means 100 people could get an acre, or 200 people could get half an acre, or some combination in the middle there.
So are you just selling it?
Right. I mean, essentially what we're doing is we're crowdfunding this land. And we already started. We actually started crowdfunding. We did a small portion of it. And that was back in, when was that? Back earlier this year. And we crowdfunded, and we did that within the Guap community in general. So it was strictly governors that were able to do this. And it was very little, was limited. So now we're opening it up to everyone else.
Did you have another question?
I'm sorry if I'm muting it, because I'm driving and trying to keep a lot of the background myself.
That's all right. Anyone else have any questions? Or do you have
I
further
have a
questions?
question.
Oh, you were about to say Hold on a second, Tavonia.
9 o'clock. And
So my question was, are y'all just selling it just half of acre, or are you able to purchase more?
yes,
You
you
are able to
can purchase more.
Okay, my second question would be, do you all meet up frequently? Do y'all have these Zoom meetings often, or is this just information Zoom?
We with IO, we'll be having weekly Zoom meetings.
Okay.
So
And you
it may
can
not
get more. And as a matter of fact, you know, you may wind up getting an acre for someone else, and that is your deal. You know what I mean? If you turn around and you want to resell it to someone else at the end of the deal, I mean, look at it like this. Imagine, you know, like for instance, using the project with Freedom Georgia. After they did what they did, there were so many people on the back end that wanted to become a part of that, but they couldn't. You understand what I'm saying? So when we get to launching publicly, the way I can guarantee you there are going to be people who won't want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? And that just raises the value of what you have already invested in.
Right. That's funny you say that because we're actually we was at Freedom. We not with Freedom Georgia, but we was at the camp out and everything. We're Black Achievement Fund members, and they're acquiring 30 acres as well, looking to develop it and to do the same things y'all are doing with the group economic or the crowdfunding. And so it's real funny you say that now because this, you know what I'm saying, we on the same journey. So
Yeah, we are. And I know Ashley and them, you know what I mean? I know Ashley and them, and we've already had multiple discussions because they're going to be using Guapcoin there as well. You know what I mean? So you're right. We are on the same journey, and pretty much everybody who was in that area is going to be phenomenally populated by us. And it's kind of like, it's like a full circle thing because that's land that was taken from us in the first place. You know what I mean? So that's why it's such an interest of mine, because knowing the history of the land there, I kind of feel like we're doing the ancestors a justice by getting it back.
There it is.
yes, ma'am. Perfect. Yes, ma'am. So let me ask y'all, do y'all have any type of connection with like I guess loans or you know what I'm saying, credit or anything like that to help out with people who maybe want to do a loan and something like that? Do y'all have access financing?
We have blockchain and DeFi. So that's the beautiful thing that we have that other people don't have. We have DeFi, decentralized finance. We are currently working on releasing a DeFi stablecoin connected to Guapcoin called XGuap. And that is going to be our lending platform. We will have our own lending platform. We'll have our own internal lending based on Guapcoin, based on our own blockchain economy. So, you know, someone said, what is that? We'll definitely talk about that. But that's basically putting our own money to work. We didn't do all of this work with Guapcoin for nothing. We didn't create Guapcoin just to create Guapcoin. We created Guapcoin so that Guapcoin can create an economy that keeps on giving, keeps on funding, keeps on lending, keeps on expanding our capabilities. So we have that as the underpinning of this whole entire project. We got our own bank, basically. You know what I mean? Once we get over this hump of purchasing this land, and at the same time we're building out Guapcoin and we're making it more aware, we will have our own bank.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. Someone else in the chat had put a question saying their microphone wasn't working, but they said is there a monthly fee after the $3,000 deposit?
No, there's no monthly fee.
No condo fees.
Now, will there be ongoing fees? You know, depending on what stage we are, absolutely. I'm not saying that you're not gonna have to. $3,000 is not going to build you a home. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, we will do everything in our power to make sure that we make these homes affordable. That's our goal. Our goal is not to just build extraordinary expensive homes and attract rich people. That's not our goal. Our goal is to build a community that's affordable, and we can do it. You know what I mean? It can be done. And there are already sustainable communities in Georgia that I've been introduced to. They're already doing this stuff. You know what I mean? So, but you bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's not going to be any more ongoing costs but what we try to do to subsidize any ongoing costs is to make sure we take advantage of all of the raising capabilities that we have, all of the creative financing capabilities that we have to make things happen.
Did you say you had to run at 9, Tavonia?
No, I'm still on. I'm already out.
Oh, okay.
That's why I keep cutting out. I'm going in and out of these dead spots.
Where can we get that handout that you had, Tavonia, about Ayo Village?
Oh, okay. Well, that was about the cooperative, and that's another thing. So you may not know that we already have a cooperative underway that we're launching. And this cooperative is going to help other people do what we're doing and teach them how to do it and give them access to the land so that they can learn on the land how to build a hemp industry, how to make use of all parts of the hemp so that they can build an industry. We're setting up the foundation for people to be able to do this all over the country, which is another revenue resource for us. Currently, and I got to talk to you about this too as well. So the SBA is literally working on another stimulus that's going to go to providers who do this kind of thing, who are teaching other people how to, set up home farms and stuff like that. There is money being allocated to that, and basically we're gonna go for it. We're going for money. Some people, they don't want to get involved in the government. I'm about a hybrid involvement. Because I consider it to be reparations for now. So we're gonna go after whatever type of funding that we can get to build this out.
So now you say we all have 60 days. Is there what if I, come up with a few days, probably about a month and a half from now? Who would I contact, for
well, we'll have some forms that you can go to on the website and fill out, and then we'll also have the contact information as well.
What's the website?
It's on a first come, first served basis, but if you come to, we'll share that link as well. That the form is not up yet. That's one of the things that is going to be going up this weekend that I mentioned. But It's a first come, first served basis.
Will that information be put up on the Instagram, the website?
No, she said she
want some time and you want to kind of carve a spot in, then we could work on that. But
Also,
again, the time is limited in what we have.
Also, if you've registered for this event, updates will also be sent via email. So if you're already in this group, you're already locked in and you'll get all updates as it relates to Ayo Village. And if you have any questions or comments or want to stay in touch with somebody, I put my phone number in the chat, and I usually handle sort of the daily interactions, shall we say, for Tavonia.
Yeah, and understand when I say this is like a first come, first served basis and we have to get this done. Me personally, there's always obstacles that I have to overcome. You know what I mean? And when I talk about obstacles, my obstacles are big. Colo can tell you. They're big and they're expensive. You know what I mean? So I got to come up with X amount to do this. I got to pay this. I got to pay these people to do this, stuff like that. And I'm going to do it regardless. So I'm going to move fast on this because there's again, I've lost out already on other opportunities because I didn't move fast enough. This stuff is moving fast. People see see the potential that there is down there. People are grabbing up stuff. Prices are going up. There's bidding wars on certain things. That's how serious it is. You know, I was ready, last year, there was a property that I was gonna get and I was ready to buy it. Somebody came right up under me and dropped cash on it, snatched it right up from under me and paid more. I know a lot of you are seeing what's going on in the real estate market in regards to that. Well, it's even worse with the farming market and the land.
Any other questions? We're gonna be finishing up soon. But we're gonna get the details out on how to get involved, how to pay. All of those details, we'll be making them available. And you will get updates, you know, from this email. And again, my phone number is in the chat. I'll also put my calendar in the chat. And if anyone wants to make an appointment to talk, you can. And then if you leave a note that you'd like to also talk to Tavonia, I'll see if she's available, but I can't promise about her availability.
Right. And another thing too, we would love to be able to do this like all blockchain, this process, but unfortunately the people we're dealing with don't deal with blockchain. They don't even know what any of this is. So, you know, so that's not, you know, really an option for us at this stage, but it will become an option for us when we overcome this milestone.
Okay, so I would ask, as far as where everybody, is this like, is everybody living in Georgia, you know what I'm saying, looking to acquire the land and we're all, you know what I'm saying, gonna build it together, or this just like everybody's, I guess everybody's split it out in different states and they just kind of, if they do donate, they're just donating for the cause?
No,
Well,
this is no donate. When you buy land, you are buying an acre. Whether you come down and participate on it, that's going to be up to you. We will provide the accommodations because we're building a campground. So if you want to come down and get dirty and get involved and stuff like that, we're building the foundation for that to happen. You know what I mean? And we've already started that. I mean, you already know that they do that with Freedom, Georgia. You know, the Black Camp Out was essentially that. I was there too, by the way. But
Really?
yeah, I set up, I had a tent, said Guapcoin. My RV was there. I was
About the
there.
black one at the top?
Yeah, I was at the top. I had a big long RV
Yeah.
there.
45 footer?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
so
a
you
29
was,
footer.
okay. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah. So I was there. I was there. So, but you know, it's similar to that. For one of the first things, like I said, I want built out as a campground. So that and with hookups, you know, with electricity, with water and stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
Darius, if you could just, well, you guys will already get the updates, but if anybody wants to send me a text to stay closer involved.
Yeah,
that
I
wants to
text you
get involved.
already.
All
I
right,
text you about
fantastic.
5 minutes ago. I said
Yeah,
this brother.
I have a lot of people messaging me from Instagram right now. Y'all don't understand. Like literally, they're not even coming to the meeting. They're like, where do I sign up? Like literally, go to the post I put on Instagram. Where do I sign up? Like literally, like about 75 people.
Wow.
Yeah, this the new
Yeah.
wave, really. Like, you
It
know what I'm
is.
saying?
It
Nation
really
building
is.
and building a village with, you know what I'm saying, with your people, with your friends, with family, and really create I'm into homestead, you know, just a simple life where, hey, all my resources are on my property. So, you know, this is definitely the wave. This is how we used to live as our ancestors led for us. So, you know, this is very powerful. And I love that y'all are doing it. So keep better in it.
Well, we're definitely excited. Any last questions before we head out?
You know, this is not nothing new to me, as a colo could tell you. I don't already live this life. This is not.
You just broke up again.
Well, thank you, Mr. Okolo and Ms. Tavona. We really appreciate the time that you put into the group.
Yes, thank you. And we're gonna just end now. If Tavana comes back to say goodbye, okay. But I really appreciate you all showing up. I appreciate the questions. You know, feel free to send me a text or reply to any of the emails you might have received. And we'll continue forging forward. And I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Be blessed and peace.
You too. Thank you.
Peace.